So last night I was on Steam. I was just hanging out, having a good time playing some CSGO, and I got a friend request from this random guy. His name was Johannes Fur. And like the nice guy I am, when I get a friend request, I accept it. I accept it and I ask people why they added me. And I clicked on this guy's profile and I saw that in his screenshot showcase, he had a dragon lore and he has an M4 Howl. So I figured, well, this guy must want to be adding me for trade. That's cool. I accepted his friend request and I asked him what his reason for adding me was. And he responded with, added for trade, by the way. You up for it? I said sure. He responded with like 5 links to random skins that I have in my inventory. My flip knife, my masterpiece, my fire serpent, a Doppler, and a lightning strike. Okay? So after compiling this mass of skins that I have, he responds to me again with, which of your items are up for trade, by the way? I said all of them for the right price. I'm a reasonable man. I like to make deals. So he asked me if I was looking for a specific item. And realistically, I should probably be reading this how he would be saying it. So I'm gonna try it again.
Are you looking for a specific item?
I'm only selling the Bayo Doppler for pure. Other than that, I don't really have a preference. There isn't really anything in particular I'm looking for right now.
Your inventory is worth about $855.
Yeah, around there.
So you want to trade all for a specific set of knives?
Now, when this happened, all I could think about was the movie Taken.
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will
trade you a very specific set of knives. Responded with which knives, to which he responded with Karambit Marble Fade Factory New, okay? Karambit Tiger Tooth Factory New, and a Stat Track Field Tested Op Asimov. Now that seems like a pretty sweet deal for me, a bunch of my expensive skins for 2 really nice knives and a Stat Track Op Asimov. So I said, your inventory is private. I can't see exactly what you have, but if you wanted to send me a trade with the items you think are fair, I will happily take a look at them. The guy responds with,
see offers above. My $866 items for your $855 items.
Said, that would most likely be fine. I'm a good fucking guy. I just want to trade with this dude, He's got some nice skins. I've got some nice skins. Let's make a deal. I said, feel free to send an offer and I will look at the skins. Now, at this point, I knew that this guy was straight scamming. I didn't know exactly how he was going to go about scamming me, especially because he responded with, okay, sending offer right away. So that was cool. I'm getting the trade offer from this guy. That's fantastic. It's a legitimate trade. I kind of eased back. I leaned back in my chair and scratched my head like, is this real? Am I actually going to get these knives right now? Or is this guy just, some foreigner trying to hustle me for my skins, okay? So, like 5 minutes later, he responds,
you do have your proof of verification with you, right?
Like, what the hell is that, bro? What are you talking about? Proof of verification, bro. They're in my inventory. Like, this guy. Look at this dude. So I said, yes, Valve sent me a certificate of authenticity. I can fax it to you if you want. Obviously, at this point, I was starting to get a little annoyed with the fact that he thought I was actually going to get scammed. So this is where things get pretty confusing. I said, they sent me a certificate of authenticity, and he said, what Valve? I said, Valve is in the owners of the interface in which we are speaking right now. My items are legitimate. Feel free to send me a trade offer. Why Valve? What? What's with Valve? What are you talking about? You asked if my items were authentic. Yes, they are.
Can you show me proof then, please?
They're in my inventory, no? I have these items in my inventory. I'm not expecting for him to think that they're fake. Like, how would they be fake? I play with them every day. How may I show you that they are authentic? You can't see it, but I did the air quotes. And authentic. How long have you been trading, mate? Like, this fucking guy. About 6 months. That's actually a lie. I've only been trading for about 3 months, but, gotta upsell that shit.
So, you mean you haven't gotten your items verified from the start? I just want to make sure the items I'm trading with are safe.
Now, okay, I'm gonna stop him right here, even though he has no jurisdiction over what I'm saying right now. And I'm gonna ask the question, how would items be unsafe? Like, do they carry diseases? Does my fire serpent have herpes?
Yeah, that's funny.
Wait, really? At this point, I was actually scared. I thought I was going to have to get tested because I thought my AK-47 in this video game had an STD. STDs are no joke, guys. You don't mess around. And then I didn't want to troll him too bad. I didn't want him to, stop trading with me. I wanted to keep this going for as long as I could to see what his method of scam was going to be. So I said, I don't know how item verification works.
You're trolling, mate. I don't think you're interested in my offers.
I guarantee you this dude is like from Russia or like Serbia or some kind of random country in the Middle East. I don't even know. No, I just don't understand how this works. What is item verification?
Are you familiar with duped/bugged items? That's what the proof is for. Stupid retard, sukablit.
Like, what? Fucking guy. None of my stuff is duped.
To show traders items are safe for trade, we can never be so sure unless you get them verified from the start.
How would an item being duped make it not safe? That makes no sense. Which realistically, guys, it doesn't make sense. If your item's duped, yeah, sure, it's a duped item and it kind of sucks, but that doesn't make it unsafe. You're not going to get arrested for having a duplicated item in a video game.
You can't even show me proof that it is safe.
How would it be unsafe?
Duped/bugged items are flooding the market nowadays.
So how is that unsafe?
You have to get verified first for safety purposes.
And there's no way to dupe anymore, so if they were flooding the market, it would have been for a while. I understand that I'm willing to go through the process of healing my items with super potions, but how are they unsafe if they are not verified? This message is so gibberish, dude.
LOL. If there's no way, how come high traders still looking for proof of verification for safe trades?
I guess he's trying to say that high tier traders look for proof of verification, but I've never dealt with that. I have almost a $900 inventory, and I've never ever dealt with anybody actually asking for verification. Okay, I'm just gonna put that out there for the memes. Like, I will do what I have to, but what's unsafe about trading duped items? I don't want to do it either if it's duped. I just, I'm acting like a curious trader at this point. I don't want to get scammed, but I'm also trying to keep him interested in, the conversation, so he thinks he has a chance at scamming me still.
Duped/bugged items will get you trade banned.
Do your items get check marks, like on Twitter or something? I really don't trade that much. I buy most of my stuff off of Market or from friends. That's completely false. I actually buy everything from trading, but...
Are you playing with me, mate? Don't be rude!
He got so pissed. Oh my god. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to learn. You clearly know more about it than I do. I just want to figure it out.
Is that so? You can ask assistance from her. She will be guiding you on the process. Take your time to understand how it works.
And from this point, he linked me to this girl's Steam account. She blocked me and I can't open her profile, but I do have a screenshot that I took, so...
Get back to me once you have proof of verification so we can proceed with the trade immediately.
I said thanks. Now on the screenshot of this girl's profile, it clearly says she doesn't add strangers. So I said, what do I do? Is there another way for me to contact her so we can get to know each other better and then she will add me? I wanted to take her out on a dinner date, I'm calling it right now. Fancy candles, wine that I'm not legally able to drink, a full marionette band. Bitch, we at Taco Bell now. Oh, I can see it now. Oh, man. So he said you can write on her profile, and then he spammed the shit out of me. I said, oh, I'll leave a comment then.
Yes, she's currently online now. She can help us. Thanks, mate. I really appreciate your time. Did she already respond?
And this was all in like 10 seconds time. Like, he just spammed these messages out. And I said yes. So now we're going to move over to this chat with this nice woman named Jill. And Jill is impersonating a Steam admin, an actual Steam admin. And I finally started to realize how this trade was going to work. And I thought it was going to be a middleman scam where I would have to give my items to a third party and then they would give us the trades, so they were legitimate trades or whatever. But this is how this went down. This is interesting. Hello. Thank you for leaving a comment in my profile. So you're here for the verification, right? Yeah. What do I need to do to absolve my unverified sins, mate? First of all, can I know which items do you want to get verified? All of them, I guess. The guy told me that they could all be infected, and I just want to make sure that they don't get me in trouble with Gaben or something. I don't need him showing up at my house and raiding my pantry. Okay. So are you ready to listen to the instructions now? Yes, ma'am. For item verification, we will be using the item verificator, which is disabled in accepting and responding offers, which means it can't accept any offers. You can check my recent transaction here for you to have an idea. What this chick sent me next will blow your mind. Apparently, somebody traded her like 4 souvenir factory new op dragon lores and then like 4 regular factory new op dragon lores. Now, mind you, a souvenir op dragon lore in the factory new condition is worth at least $10,000. Like, what the fuck? She also sent me a link with other dragon lores. There was like 3 or 4 more, and then a link with like a howl and some other skin. I don't even know. So basically, they're all random skins that she like edited in, or this is just scams, bro. Scams. Just doing it for the scams. So now, at this point in time, Jill hopped offline for a second, and this Johannes Fur guy hopped online, or it doesn't actually say he did, so I think he just was bouncing back and forth between Steam accounts, to be honest, and he said,
I will be waiting, mate. I'm in the middle of trades right now. Just beep me up.
Whatever that means. Is that foreign for hit me up? Like, what are you doing? I said, will do, daddy-o. So now Jill is back online, and she said, understood. I said, I understand to the fullest extent. Then she said, if you are ready to proceed, you can verify your items to the Steam Verificator here. And she sent me the trade, it's a trade link for the Steam Verificator, which is literally just a fake trade bot. It was pretty lame. Naturally, I sent her a P90 Ashwood factory new so she could verify it. And at this point, I finally knew how this scam was going to work, and basically, I was going to give my items to this Steam verifying bot, and then she was just going to take them and block me. So instead of, giving them my Fire Serpent or my knives, I straight up gave them a 3-cent skin. Just so if they took it anyways, it was funny. It was for the meme, I sent her that, and then I tried to upsell it, I said, I got it in trade today. I paid 10 keys, which is $25 for a 4-cent skin, because it's the world's lowest float. She said, I don't think so. You don't think what? That it's verified or that it's a low float? She said, I don't think it's worth 10 keys. So I went on CSGO Exchange and I looked up the lowest float P90 Ashwood, which is this. I said, it has a 0.000005 float. She said, okay, it's pretty sweet. It was probably worth more, but since it's a dumb skin, he only wanted 10. So how's the item verification going? Is it a verified skin or no? And then she sent me the proof of verification for my P90. I was like, dude, you're the realest MVP there is. At this point, I'm like, she verified it. She sent it back. We good. I'm ready to put in a Fire Serpent. Now at this point, this Johannes Fur guy's messaging me again because it's been like 10 minutes and he says,
how's it going, mate?
So I decided to have a little bit of fun. I said, she's talking to me about the show This Is Us on TV. I guess it's a good show. She says it is, but I haven't seen it yet. Have you watched it? He just said,
LOL.
And I didn't want him to think I was screwing around with him, especially if he was like actually this other chick as well. So I said, we're going through the process now as well. And then he said,
what show, by the way? Take your time, mate. Thanks.
I said, This Is Us. It's a romance show or something. I don't know. He said, I see. And he literally looked up the IMDb page for this show. Okay, I don't even know anything about this show, so I decided to make some stuff up. But that comes later. I said, I think that's the one. And then I got back to my trades. So the second skin that I gave her to verify was a factory new Scar 20 carbon fiber, another 4-cent skin. Okay, so I asked for the trade link again, even though it's right here. It was just right there. And she sent it again, and I sent the second skin. She verified it. All of that went through. Here's the proof of verification for your Scar 20. Now, she did the same exact thing with just like a crappy inspect element on, on an accepted trade. That's all she did. And then she sent the item back. So with that crappy screenshot, that's all I have to go off of. And I guess that's my item verification, is literally a screenshot that was edited in 2 minutes. I said, okay, sweet. When can I do my next item? She said, you can proceed anytime. Then I said, can you send me the link again? I accidentally closed the chat and lost it. The link was right here the whole time. I just wanted to screw with her, because I don't deal with scammers, bruh. She sends me the link, and I sent her an Op Safari Mesh factory new. Actually, it was an Op Safari Mesh field tested, so it wasn't even good. She said, verifying your Op Safari Mesh now. I said, okay. That's neato, Mosquito. Thanks for doing this for me, by the way. This game means a lot to me, and I'm glad to know my items are good. Pleasure to help you, sir. Here's the proof of verification for your Op Safari Mesh. Now, at this point, this Johannes Fur guy is messaging me again, and now he's asking me about where I'm from. He's trying to verify my Steam info, so he knows that I'm not screwing with him at this point. So, earlier in that day, this is yesterday, earlier in the day, I changed my location to Czech Republic for some reason, and I remembered that I did that. So when he asked me where I was from, I said, I live in the Czech Republic. I just moved here with my dad. He said, how old are you? 14, I said. But then I decided that 14 was a little too young, so I upped it to 15. And then he responds with,
Czech is a nice place, if you know what I mean. Ha ha ha!
Like, what is that? Does anybody, if anybody gets that at all, if any single person watching this gets that, please tell me what it means, because I don't fucking understand what it means. That's not a real joke. I said, I don't get it. He said,
no, never mind. You're still minor. Sorry. Are you done, mate?
I said, oh yeah.
That's nice.
She's still talking to me about this damn show. I guess the main character, Chase Matthews, just got married to his girl Zoe or something. That is literally Zoe 101. This dude is clearly not from America if he's never seen Zoe 101. That show was the shit when it was on, okay? She had the key, and it was tied around her neck, the key to her dorm, so she didn't lose it. I know everything about that show, bro. No shame in that. Zoe 101 is a good show.
Just send the proof here, mate. Thanks.
So basically, we kind of wasted time for a while, and I was just telling him about the trades and how much I love trading. So basically, we keep going, for a while, and I'm trading these items to this lady while I'm doing this with him, and then we're gonna hop back here until the end of this, okay? So at this point, when she verifies my Op Safari Mesh, I come back to talking to her, and I really want to give her a run for her money. I want to see how heartless these people actually are. So I wrote the most insane sob story I could think of on the spot, and here's how it went. See, my parents fight a lot, and that's why my dad brought me back to his home country of the Czech Republic, and I really don't like it here. I pretend I do, but that's only so I don't have to go back to my mom's. She likes to drink a lot, and sometimes when she does, she hits me and my sister. So the only way I can get away from them fighting is by playing on this computer. It took me 2 years to get all of these items in 2 different Steam accounts. My old one is on the computer at my mom's. I traded all the items that I have to this one because she broke my computer in a fit. I don't know what I would do without this game. It really has made things easier for me. It means so much that there are people like you who care to help out as well. I poured so much money into this game, and with it, a small piece of my heart. I don't know what I would do if I lost it all for having illegitimately obtained or crafted items, so I guess what I'm trying to say is thanks. I'm ready to verify my Fire Serpent now. Are you ready? I was trying to make her feel bad about stealing my $200 AK skin, okay? Did she? Of course not. Well, you have a wonderful story, but sad on the other hand. Can you proceed now? Like this bitch. How heartless are you? How heartless are you that you are willing to steal $200 from a 15-year-old kid? That is ridiculous, okay? These are literally the most scummy people I have ever interacted with. Like, why are scammers so scummy, bro? Like, they have no shame and no decency whatsoever. That is terrible. I said, you really have no heart, huh? And then she said, well, I do understand your problem here. I just don't need too much time since I'm entertaining a lot of users here. Like, bitch, I'm supposed to feel bad for you? I don't think so. And then she says, after all, you must be thankful since your parents still loves you. This bitch didn't even read my sob story, okay? My mom clearly doesn't love me if she's drinking a lot and beating me with computers. That doesn't make any sense, okay? It's a made-up story, but this bitch is a made-up heartless bitch, like, I don't even know. So, I responded with the most biblical message anyone has ever seen. It was great. Fuck up out of here with your scams, bitch, you weeb looking ass, heartless trade scamming ass, fake Steam repping ass, low life dare slips looking ass, bitch. Your tits hang so low to the floor, little kids who you steal from could use them as jump ropes. You so fake a fucking totem pole, looks like I could dance the tango next to you. Eat my ass, you fake Russian dude, Ruski blat ass, scammer ass, bitch ass, poo brain. You're literally the lint that forms under Gaben's back rolls. Fuck up out of here with these games. Miss me with that bullshit. I wasted your time, no titty ass. I'm no fool, daddy-o. I said, like, I spammed the most unreasonably stupid response I could. Why not, you know? I figured this was a deal sealer, and she was done. She knew I knew she was scamming, but she really was that ridiculous. She said, okay. I said, okay. Can I verify now? She said, okay. She said, okay. I just told her I knew she was scamming me, and she's still cool. Can you send me the trade link? She sent me the trade link. She literally sent it again. She totally, like, this is how I know that this is a person from a different country who spoke very little English. There is no way that after all of that, they would have still gone through with this. It is so clear that I'm messing with them at this point. These are the stupidest people I've ever met. Like, boy. Also, before I do this, do you have authentication? Authentication of? Can you prove to me that you're in fact a Steam admin? Yes, I can provide my administrator form. Please do, my dude. She sent me the probably the worst fake edited form I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay, this had lorem ipsum text at the beginning of this verification. I think she left it there so it would look like it was something in a different language, which it is. It's Latin, but this bitch is so stupid. Lorem ipsum is a filler text for formatting, if anybody didn't know. She went into Microsoft Word and made that in like 5 minutes. So at this point, I had looked up the real Steam admin who she was impersonating, and I asked her if she had the Valve employee badge. She says it doesn't exist anymore. I said she has it though, and I linked the real Valve employee that she was impersonating. She said hokey and then blocked me, which I responded with lamau, 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 lamau. It was fantastic. It was fucking poetic the way that I got them. So now I go back to this guy, and no problem. She removed me. And then this guy says, what happened? I guess that means I'm done. Mind you, I have like 3 screenshots of totally like terrible skins that I got verified. And this guy probably wants to see them. So, okay, nice.
Where's the proof, mate?
I traded my fire serpent and knives to the trade bot, and she verified and sent them back, and that was it. She gave me an Imgur link.
What did she say about it?
She said they were verified.
Where is the proof? So I can send the offer.
I sent him probably the single greatest picture I could have ever sent him, and it was a picture of the man Bernard Sanders. I responded with, did you get it? And this man blocked me. That, my friends, is the greatest scam troll of all time. Of all time. Okay, I don't even care. I one-upped them. I won. I am a great human being.
Close your eyes and you're gone. Dream.